I've spent years in the high ticket sales game, millions closed, thousands of calls, and now that I've moved into having my own business, I've had a lot of time to reflect, a lot of time to think about the successes that I've had, the mistakes that I made, the lessons that I learned. And in this video, I'm just going to raw dog some of those lessons and advice here on camera so that you guys can apply these lessons into your own closing career, make a lot more money, and live a better life. So no Google Doc today, just 15 minutes or so of raw advice. Here we go. Piece of advice number one. To all of you high ticket closers, whether you are experienced or if you've just got started, I really want to make you guys aware that you have a small window of opportunity right now to stack a lot of cash and set yourself up for the future. Now, notice my specific wording there, small window. Because what I've found in both my own experience and from working alongside many closers is that most people don't end up and don't want to be doing this for past 2, 3, 4 years max. And that's fair enough because in my opinion, high ticket closing, it is the fastest and most achievable way to make your first 10 to 30K a month online. But if we're all being totally honest, do you really want to spend the rest of your life sat on Zoom calls with, in some cases, brain rot prospects? Like, you likely don't, and neither do I. So I really want you guys to recognize and be aware that you're here for a good time, not a long time, as the saying goes. That you likely won't be doing this for very long. So really cherish this time, really lock in and really focus. Very important, because if you truly lock in now for the next 1 to 3 years, you'll be able to stack multi six figures in your bank, which will set you up nicely for whatever you decide to do next after high ticket closing. And that leads me nicely onto piece of advice number 2, that while you might not necessarily want to be a closer and sat on 5, 6, 7 calls a day for the rest of your life, you may well stay in this industry in another capacity. So for example, you might get into sales management or start your own sales agency or run a growth operator model, or like myself, start selling your own high ticket product or service. So while I think that focus is extremely important, especially in the early days of your closing career, you want to be absolutely tunnel visioned on just mastering closing. But you do at some point want to start thinking about A, what you might want to do after closing, and B, what added skills that you will need for the model that you choose. So, for example, if you're going to start selling your own high ticket coaching and info product, for example, you need to start learning the skill of how to drive cold traffic to a call with you. By the way, I have another video on my channel called 10K a month closer to 100K a month offer owner, which is an exact roadmap I give you for progression as a closer. Like exactly what options and business models are available to you after closing, what skills you will need for each model, and what level of income you'll unlock with each new skill that you develop. It is, I think, the 3rd video I posted on my channel, and in my biased opinion, it's a very good video, so definitely go and check that out after watching this. Now, that actually leads me nicely to piece of advice number 3, which is start documenting your journey ASAP, bro, ASAP. Like, if somebody asked me, hey, when should I start building my personal brand? I would say yesterday, bro. We should have started making and posting content yesterday because, number one, the more people that know about you, the more opportunities will come your way. That's just a fact. Whether that's offers to close on, sales management positions, or even just good people that you can make friends with and bounce ideas off. Just more people knowing who you are is always a positive thing. It has infinite upside and very little, if any, downside. Number 2, when it comes to the time of you moving on from closing calls, if you already have a following established, it's going to make that transition into whatever model you choose just so much easier. Like, if you've built a following of closers, there's revenue pre-existing already sat there to sell your own coaching and info product, for example. Or if you decide to move into management, you've got a big established network. You've got more offer owners who know who you are. You've got tons of content which you can use as trust building material. It makes things so much easier. And to be completely honest, this was a mistake of mine, not making content earlier, because I launched my own high ticket coaching and info product, which is called Six Figure Remote. And it's, in my biased opinion, the best, most elite training and recruiting program in the world for high ticket closers. And don't get me wrong, we're flying. Like, I'm very happy with the quality of my product. I'm very happy with my student results. I'm happy how much I'm making. But the fact is, because I didn't really have a personal brand, I had to rely on ads to get clients, which again is fine. I'm happy. But as we all know, ads cost money. So that's why I'm now, alongside running ads, really focused on building my organic content, my brand, so that eventually I'd love to get to a place where 50% of my call bookings are coming from organic. Because as closers, we all know, right? We all know that organic leads are just better. Like, they're warmer, they trust you more, they're easier to close, often easier to work with, and all that good stuff. So don't be like me, boys. Start making content ASAP. Now, the fourth piece of advice is another absolutely key one. Digest this, apply it, and you'll make a ton more money throughout your time in high ticket closing. That while many closers out there, and most of the sales trainers, they are purely focused on scripts, on frameworks, on telling you the words of what to say, and they don't really understand why they are saying those words. So, for example, a quote that I often give is an average closer can read a script and say words, but an elite closer, the guys who make the big bucks, they understand why they are saying those words. So the fact is, if you can understand at a deep level the fundamental first principles of human psychology and why somebody would buy from you, you're never going to need a script again. I promise you. You will always know exactly what to say. And what it will also do, it will make your life so much easier because you will have many, many calls which are closed with zero objections. So, like, no battling for 2 hours, deep in objection handling, 30 to 45 minute one call closes with zero objections will absolutely become normal. And this is something that in my own program, I'm big on teaching my guys who sign up with me the fundamentals, right? Like the deep psychology. Why would somebody buy? Why would somebody spend thousands of dollars with you? And don't get me wrong, yes, I absolutely have a bunch of scripts, a bunch of word tracks that I give to the guys that work with me, but again, the fact is, if I can get somebody to understand on a deep level the deep psychology behind why somebody actually buys, that is honestly going to, within weeks, by the way, put you ahead of 99% of your competition who are just reading scripts and saying words. You will understand the fundamentals on a deep level. It will make you a ton of money. It will make your calls shorter. You will always know exactly what to say. And overall, you'll just have a better day-to-day life. It's pretty cool what happens once you learn this. Now, the fifth and final piece of advice is an absolutely critical one because it is so unspoken about and yet so important. And that is that when it comes to you making the money that you want to make in high ticket sales, I'm talking 15, 20, 30K a month and upwards, it's not just about your sales skill, about your closing ability. Now, don't get me wrong, like, of course that is massively important, but the raw truth is that what is also very important, and again, very unspoken of, is that being in the right opportunity vehicle, in other words, the offer that you're on, is also monumentally important. Because you can be a great closer on a terrible offer and therefore struggle to break even 10K a month. But inversely, you can be a decent closer, but on a great offer and clearing 20K, maybe even 30K a month upwards. I have seen this firsthand. So guys, be really mindful, as well as building up your sales skill and your closing ability, make sure that you're on a great offer because not all offers are made equal. And if you want to make the big numbers, you have to have an elite level skill set and be on an elite level offer. And that's why my training and recruiting program called Six Figure Remote, it's built around training you up to an elite level skill set and getting you placed into a top 1% elite level offer. And that is really where you make your dreams a reality. That is where you achieve the financial abundance and the freedom that you want, an elite level skill set and an elite level offer. So hit the link in the description to check out more details on my program. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for making it to the end of the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.